Welcome to Stars Podcast. Through self-defense, mixed martial arts, nutrition, family, and all things in between, we share our journey of how we hack our mind and body to get the maximum return out of each day. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy the journey. Hey guys, welcome back to Stars Podcast, your growth mindset mecca. This is your host, Ron Jordan, coming at you from Rocinante Studios in Slippery Rock, PA. Carried by giants. It's 3:45 a.m. and my alarm is going off. Reaching through my blankets to avoid losing any heat inside my cocoon, I poke my finger onto my phone, trying to shut it off. My efforts were futile since my phone was screened down. Gripping my phone, I see through blurred vision why my alarm is going off. The label, "You don't know me. Who's going to carry the boat?" Hello, I'm Ron Jordan, and this is my David Goggins 4x4x48 challenge story. If anybody is out there thinking about becoming a runner or researching the David Goggins challenge, and I came up in your search, here is my advice. Do the challenge. I expect you to finish it too. No plan B, just get it done. You can walk 4 miles in 4 hours. You may not get much sleep in between, but you can do it. You'll be coveted as a savage by your friends and foes. You'll be considered a giant among men, immortal. Your story will live forever for those who you had an impact as a result. My goal was never to become this. My goal was to get in shape for my family. However, through that why, we have created an immortal giant among men. That giant is not me by any means. I'm just a part of it. Collectively, we're forming a giant force of positivity that will begin to wipe away any adversity we find along our journey. You still here? Good. I will be your tour guide through this portal into the minds and ears of all of our agents. Thank you for joining us. Those of you who are familiar with my shtick know that I like to run. I like to do it for many reasons. The cardio system is a hard thing to get fit. Getting a good resting heart rate has been a lot of work. It's been almost 3 years of this and has gotten my heart rate down to 38 and 42. I know my body is in trauma mode like today because my resting heart rate is a little bit higher than it usually is. Or I might be a little bit buzzed off Fuzzy Monkey coffee, but I think it's because of the trauma. Why would I put my body into trauma? Why would I do all this and create a situation of suffering? Why not just relax after a long week and work and chill out? Also, why do I put it on social for others to see? I'm a seeker of truths. I'm a spiritual dude. I love the idea that we can all have superpowers. I have some of my favorite attributes that I call my superpowers: patience, empathy, honesty, accountability, humility. The ability for all of us to become great together inspires me to be a positivity agent. The idea that we can all, when banded together, achieve anything we want to, ignites a flame in my soul which propels me into action. When I feel drawn to something, I double down. I make it mine. I make it everything I do. It is in me. It becomes my personal agenda. Also, I like to put on a show. I like performing. I like eyes on me. I'm a look at me guy. I have earned a mindset that allows me to feverishly engage and put myself in situations where I am the first or the only to have done something. I have always been like this. I take pride in it for some reason. I think it comes out of respect for where I come from. Along the way, our bloodlines were all risk takers, eating and living in places nobody would dream of, traveling to lands they had no idea what would meet them on the other side when they arrived. Our ancestors were savages. They worked hard. They died for us. They were tough. They were brave. They were accountable. They were honest. They had humility. They were giants of their time. They are us. We are their stories. We're their next chapter. What are we writing? Would they be proud? Would they want to pick it up and read it? How do we write those stories? We work. We stay patient. We make an impact that they would be proud of. We stay in the light. We stay where people can see us. We stay there because in the dark we are hidden with only our secrets and our skeletons to keep our past, with only our secrets, our skeletons in our past to keep us company. I have found through community, we start to worry less about the individual and more about the health of the community. We form trusting relationships where we can be open and honest with each other. We become to have more in common than different. The reason I think that is happening is we begin to understand each other better because we start to understand each other's whys. We have meaningful conversations. We understand that everyone has a story to tell. Yeah, we all have pain, but we also all have goals, and we all have love to give. And most importantly, we all have worth in our community. So why run for so long and for nothing? See, there's no medal at the end of this. There's no free t-shirt, no band at the finish line. Nobody was there when I finished the 4x4x48, and it ended. I knew there wouldn't be anybody there. I knew it the whole time. I didn't care. It wasn't about me. I care so much more about everyone out there getting outside and breathing the wild air and getting healthier. See, through this little adventure of running and breathing the wild air, we're inspiring others to be active and stay engaged in their life. Far too often we become complacent and in a rut that we keep spinning bald tires and digging deeper into the ground, becoming cemented. We need a tow truck some days to pry ourselves from the mud bog we have become stuck in. But think about that truck that has bald tires on it, stuck in the bog. Once the tow truck pulls it out, takes it to the car wash, they clean the truck, but then he takes it back home and goes to bed. Then he gets up for work the next day. The tires are still bald. Those bald tires pose a serious risk, especially if the roads become wet. There's the story of a family who's traveling down the highway on their way to work. They only have one car, so they must share a vehicle among two full-time working adults. They also have kids they must care for. Today, like many other days, they were eating breakfast in the car on their way to work and daycare. The wipers were on and moving quick, the sound of them furiously wiping away the rain that was falling hard. All of a sudden, the car was lifted off the ground and spun into the area between the roads. But that didn't stop this car from moving completely to the oncoming traffic side. The vehicle was struck by a semi-truck carrying a full load, demolishing the car and the folks inside. The semi-truck driver was fine and got out of his vehicle to check on the car. What he saw in the car ruined his life and his career. Not because he was at fault, but because what he saw inside was devastating. The entire family was killed, children included. After going through litigation, the truck driver was diagnosed with PTSD and could not drive his truck ever again. And it was also determined that the cause of the accident was likely weather and bald tires. I pull this story quite often in my head when thinking about empathy, cause and effect, and impact. I have a saying, when your good time starts affecting my good time, there may be an issue we need to work out. Because when my actions have an impact on others, I want that impact to leave them better or the same than when they met me. I never want that needle to dip in the other direction. The hardest part of these runs for me was waking up in the middle of the night and having my sleep interrupted. That little inconvenience fails to comparison to some of the sacrifices people make, but everyone's sacrifices are rough to them. They are rough and terrible in their own world. It doesn't matter if it's a paper cut to a 2-year-old or a cancer diagnosis to a 30-year-old with kids and a wife, or even an artist who has their art stolen or ruined. Every aspect is relative to perspective. Also, I will have you know that the first 3 miles of running are the absolute worst. After 3 miles, my body is warmed up and ready to go. I feel that for a minute or for a mile, and then I had to quit. It sucked. Then taking all my clothes off, changing, putting it all back on when the next run goes, eating, drinking. Same thing over and over and over again for 48 straight hours. What do I expect from all of this? All this posting, all this writing, all the competitions, all the classes, all the accolades. Nothing. I don't expect anything. I know what I'm doing is making a difference in my community. I know people are getting better around me. I know they are more engaged because of my behaviors. We are a giant together. We may be a giant pain in the butt for some, but we are going to be a giant that lifts others and gives them a view of the world from our point of view. We will lift them up and show them what we see. It will be up to them to take action. It will be their journey then. I'm just your tour guide through the portal. Welcome to the Growth Mindset Mecca, agent. Your briefing awaits you. Hashtag enjoy the journey. This episode is brought to you by Valor Personal Defense Group. Self-defense is a perishable skill. Only through continuous and consistent training will one be able to effectively employ a skill set that they have learned. Valor Personal Defense Group system is designed to offer constant, consistent, and affordable training opportunities for all individuals wanting to learn and stay sharp. We keep our firearms courses affordable to facilitate our continuous training philosophy. Now listeners of Stars Podcast get 15% off any firearms course with coupon code STARS21. That's STARS, STARS 21, which you can book at valorcombatacademy.com. Also brought to you by Fuzzy Monkey Coffee. You may think you are drinking good coffee, but are you really? Fuzzy Monkey Coffee Company challenges you to buy a bag of our specialty fresh roasted coffee with an exclusive Stars Podcast discount. Visit www.fuzzymonkey.com and enter STARSPOD15. That's STARSPOD15 at checkout and get 15% off any bag of coffee or a single serve pod. Our light, medium, and dark roasts from all over the world will suit anyone's taste buds. Visit www.fuzzymonkeycoffee.com and enter STARSPOD15. Listen, I've been drinking this since the summertime, and I personally like the Squirrel Monkey. I don't like a lot of the flavored coffees out there, and they roast their own beans over at Fuzzy Monkey. And if you get them, I recommend getting fresh bean, not grinded, and grind it yourself. We are also brought to you by Orange Mud Ambassadors. Orange Mud's sole purpose is to adventure and explore, and they just so happen to make the gear to help with that. From nutrition, training, and more, the resources Orange Mud provides is insane. If you're looking for some outdoor running or hiking gear, hit up orangemud.com, and at checkout use FF15 JORDAN for 15% off your next purchase.
So the journey has begun. If you guys listening to our content today had any kind of value or you were moved in any way, please feel free to subscribe, pass it on, let everybody know that these two guys are the truth. They're out here just trying to do good things to make good people. Thanks.